What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, we may have gotten a hint from legendary retired Hall of Fame iconic superstar boxer who is Olympic gold medalist, Andre S.O.G. Ward. Andre Ward retired at 32 wins, no losses, no draws, 16 wins by way of knockout. Andre Ward is 37 years of age. 6 feet tall with a 71-inch arm reach. The last time we saw him in the ring was June 17th of 2017 when he took on and defeated former light heavyweight, two-time world champion, three-time world champion Sergey Crusher Kovalev via 8th round stoppage victory. Okay, so with that said, Andre Ward obviously has been linked to a lot of fights. Andre Ward, he retired very early in his career. He's 38 years of age. So Andre Ward, he retired when he was 32 years of age. Okay, so that's very early in his career, with a lot left to be desired, especially from the fan base. So Andre Ward, he called it a career after that fight, and it was more so due to injuries, right? Andre Ward, he had knee injuries and shoulder injuries. So injuries is what caused Andre Ward to call it a career, and he turned a colorful analyst, okay, for Top Rank, ESPN, legendary promoter, CEO Bob Arum. So Andre Ward's Olympic gold medalist. The last time he took a defeat was when he was 12 years old. So many people still have desire to see Andre Ward in the ring. And lately, Andre Ward, he had a spat with two-time middleweight world champion, Kazakhstan superstar boxer, Gennady Triple G Golovkin. Okay, Gennady Golovkin is 39 years of age. Gennady Golovkin is reigning IBF champion at middleweight currently as it stands. But when Andre Ward was at the height of his career and reigning in his division at 168, he's a two-division world champion. So he won unified belts at 168, and he won unified belts at 175. Okay, so but he won the Super 6 tournament. And when Andre Ward was campaigning, you know, at the height of his career, Triple G was also at the height of his career, one division below Andre Ward. And, you know, there was talks that a fight should take place, okay, between Andre Ward and Triple G, okay, because many people wanted to see Andre Ward move up to 175, a division north of his weight, which is 7 pounds north. But nobody wanted and put a lot of stipulation demands for Triple G to move 8 pounds north of his division to fight Andre Ward when he was considered, by many, to be one of the top 5, top 3 greatest middleweights of all time. Instead of looking to make an adjustment, you know, and move up and become a multi-division world champion. Today, as it even stands, Triple G is still a one-division champion at 39 years of age. So we talking 6-7 years ago, when Triple G was 31 years of age, who is not much smaller than Andre Ward. Triple G refused to move up in weight, okay, and he's still refusing to move up in weight, okay. Now there's talks that he could move up in weight after his next fight. His next fight is April 9th against Murata in a unification bout, looking to become unified twice in the middleweight division, and then go up for a trilogy fight with Canelo Alvarez at 168. So he's never moved up. And speaking of Canelo Alvarez, that's another guy that was being mentioned for Andre Ward when Andre Ward was at the height of his career, and he wasn't eager to move up through the weight system, as Andre Ward was considered the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world, okay? Saul Canelo Alvarez, a 4-division world champion. He's currently undisputed at super middleweight. Canelo Alvarez is 57 wins, 1 loss, 2 draws, 39 wins by way of knockout. He's 31 years of age. He'll be 32, 5'8" with a 70-inch arm reach, okay? Triple G and Canelo Alvarez, they have fought twice. But again, when Andre Ward was at the height of his career, after winning the Super 6 tournament, beating Chad Dawson, beating Carl Froch, you know, these guys were not eager to make their way north to fight Andre Ward, okay? Everybody made it seem as if Andre Ward was choosing to poke at guys a weight class and smaller than him, okay? So nobody was putting pressure on these fighters to move up in weight to challenge Andre Ward, but they were putting pressure on Andre Ward to challenge other fighters, okay? So Triple G is now 41 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 36 wins by way of knockout. Again, he's 39 years of age, 5'10.5" with a 71-inch arm reach, okay? So nobody was putting pressure on these fighters to move up in weight and challenge Andre Ward, but everybody was putting pressure on Andre Ward to move up and challenge Sergey Kovalev, who was seen as the boogeyman in the light heavyweight division, who is a guy that, oddly enough, Canelo Alvarez ended up fighting, okay? So Canelo Alvarez moved up and fight Sergey Kovalev at 175, but he had no interest in moving up and fighting, he had no interest in fighting, keep on straight. He had no interest in fighting, Andre Ward, right? So Andre Ward recently got into a spat, like I said, with Triple G. And when he got into a spat with Triple G was saying that Andre Ward didn't send the contract. Andre Ward was not telling the truth to the fans. He made it seem like Andre Ward was avoiding a fight with him, and then he made it, and then he stated that Andre Ward was jealous of his career because he became a much bigger star than Andre Ward. Okay, so Andre Ward is stating, Triple G is stating that Andre Ward is jealous of his career because he became a bigger pay-per-view star and Andre Ward never did. And Andre Ward, he responded by saying, listen here, little G, my career, I beat some of the best. I didn't pick and choose through my weight class. I didn't, I fought the best that was to offer. I was in the Super 6 tournament. I beat guys like Chad Dawson. I beat Sergey Kovalev in his weight class, at the height of their career. When Andre Ward beat Sergey Kovalev, he was the boogeyman at 175. He was the crusher, okay? He was the man that everybody deemed to be the boogeyman in 175. He was knocking out everybody, okay? And Andre Ward was the underdog. So Andre Ward got into a spat with this Triple G situation. And, we know he stated recently, if Canelo Alvarez was to say his name, he would come out of retirement. So Andre Ward recently put up a post now and saying, when we saw legendary NFL, National Football League quarterback Tom Brady, who was considered the greatest quarterback ever, come out of retirement, announces he was coming out of retirement, Andre Ward, he put the smirking face and let it be known. He said, it's very difficult to stay in retirement. And then, obviously read between the lines and with these guys talking the way they talking, because when Andre Ward was active, nobody was talking like this, okay? And so these are fights that that are legacy fights for Andre Ward. You understand what I'm saying? These are fights that, yeah, Andre Ward at his time, he fought who was there to beat. Carl Froch, Arthur Abraham, Mikkel Kessler, Chad Dawson, and Sergey Kovalev. Those are the big names that Andre Ward has faced, okay? He beat Glenn Johnson, so he beat some guys, some very credible names. But star power wise, a lot of the machine got behind Canelo Alvarez. A lot of the machine got behind Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin and pushed their star power, because you look at the resume of Triple G, it's not that glamorous, okay? He fought Canelo Alvarez twice, and he fought Danny Jacobs. Outside of that, he fought welterweight and Kell Brook, who gave him a lot of problems, okay? And then he got the stoppage victory, but he gave him a lot of problems. So there was there's a lot to be desired with Andre Ward. There's a lot to be desired, from Triple G, and there's a lot of demand on Canelo Alvarez. You understand what I'm saying? So with that said, he's letting it be known, and he said, my silence speak volumes, okay? So, there's reports and there's people, he's always in the gym, he's always staying in shape, and people will say, well, he's too old. Nobody want to see him come back now. He need to stay retired. Well, Triple G is 39. Nobody said that when it comes to Floyd Mayweather, okay? When it comes to Floyd Mayweather, he fought Canelo Alvarez when he was 36, going on 37 years of age, okay? And nobody said that, Floyd Mayweather was too old for a fight with Canelo Alvarez. Actually, they don't even like to give Floyd Mayweather the credit he deserves. Many people you'll hear say Canelo Alvarez was too green. He was too young. Okay, well, they don't tell you that Floyd Mayweather was clearly past his prime. you know, and he was 37 years of age, 36 going on 37, and the much smaller man in the ring. No, they'll tell you that that Canelo Alvarez was too green. He was too young. He wasn't ready, but he called for the fight, and so did the fans. And many people that were saying that Canelo Alvarez would never get a fight with Floyd Mayweather because it's too much of a challenge for Floyd Mayweather, okay? There's people that said that Floyd Mayweather was avoiding a fight with Triple G. They wanted Floyd Mayweather to go up 2 weight classes to fight Triple G, a guy who is a natural 140-pounder. They wanted him to go up and fight Triple G at middleweight. And Triple G, he even stated that he would go down in weight to fight Floyd Mayweather. So, but he never moved down for nobody else, but he'll go down to fight Floyd Mayweather, but he wasn't willing to go up to fight Andre Ward 1 weight class north, okay? So with that said, you know, Andre Ward, he lets it be known. There's hints, there's subtle hints, you know, I believe for the right opportunity and the right call out, Andre Ward to accept the fight, he'll come back out of retirement, okay? And at 38 years of age, a guy like Andre Ward, Floyd Mayweather, they're never out of it. You can never count them out. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.